Alright guys, this is a review of my 05 Harley Davidson VROD. I don't know if you know anything about Harley Davidson or the VROD, but I think this is their best bike ever made. It's liquid cooled. Most Harleys aren't liquid cooled except for the newer ones. It's got 115 or 120 horsepower and I think 96 pound-feet of torque. I love this bike, man. I've got it. I've had it for about a month. I put 1,500 miles on it, man. I'm taking it down to Louisiana in September, and I love it. These are not factory pipes. It's a pretty loud bike, so be ready. Nice Reinhardt racing pipes. Really wakes it up. Nice and loud. Let's get on the road and talk about it. So this is my fourth motorcycle, right? I've had my first two bikes were the same bike. They were 02 Kawasaki Ninja 500s. My third bike was a 2023 Ninja 400. I bought it because it was cheap and good on gas, and I wanted something that would just work because I had a lot of issues with my my used bikes. And now I have my VROD. Like I said, I put 1,500 miles on it, and I love it. I've ridden about 20 different bikes. I've ridden a Ninja 500, the old one, my Ninja 400, Ninja 650, CBR 600, the ZX10R. I've ridden the Gixxer 600 too. I've ridden the KTM Duke 390. I've ridden the Dyna, and I've ridden all the Sportsters, the 1200, the AA3, and then I recently, about 6 months ago, I rode the Sportster S, which is a really cool bike, but it just didn't fit me right, so I didn't like it. I've ridden a Road King, and I also have ridden, that's it for the Harley Davidsons, but I've ridden the BTX Honda 1300 and 1800. I've ridden Suzuki Boulevard, the Rebel 500, which I was it's a good little bike, but it's just, to me, it's kind of not great against the competition, but people love it. A KLR. I've ridden a whole bunch of different bikes, and I can tell you that I really enjoyed sport bikes. I haven't really enjoyed super sport bikes like the ZX10R. I mean, that was really cool, and the CBR 600 was also really cool, but I didn't like that position of being all the way in attack mode. And then for all the Harley Davidson cruisers and even the Honda cruisers, I felt a little bit better on the BTXs, the 1300 and the 1800, but I just never really fit quite well in any of the Harley Davidsons or any of the other cruisers, the Boulevard, except for this thing right here, the VROD. I fit on this thing like a glove, and I love it. Like I said, the VROD's kind of like the bastard stepchild of Harley Davidson, liquid cooled. No Harleys were ever liquid cooled besides the VR 1000s, and their newer bikes, a lot of them are liquid cooled. But when this bike came out in 02, that was a huge step for them. It was made for, I think, 15, 16 years. They stopped making it in 2018, which I think was a huge mistake. But you know, that's what they wanted to do. And then they brought the Sportster S into the fray, and that kind of took its spot a little bit, kind of, sort of. Yeah, but so the VROD, Porsche helped design the motor, and I believe they co-designed the frame too. I don't know if I showed y'all, but the rims are actually solid. They built this to kind of be like a drag bike. It's really fast. I'm going to show y'all up in a second. It's quick. I mean, it'll go. I've dusted like Hellcats off the line. The student SS the other day, he wanted to go, and it didn't go out too well for him. My buddy's Ninja 650, he launched his bike better than me, but the VROD still came and took it in the end. Yeah, so as you can see, this VROD has got a pretty high RPM rev band. Most cruisers, whether it be Honda or Harley Davidson, they don't rev anywhere near this high, up to 8,500 RPMs. But once you get this thing to about 6, it's when it starts to really kick on. It starts to go. If you see my fuel gauge is empty, it's not. It's broken. Funny enough, about a week after I got this bike, I knew it would be a problem, but I didn't really care because I just love the bike so much. I rode it. I rode this one. I rode a VROD Muscle. And I rode a Night Rod Special. And to me, this one fit me perfectly. So I'm like, this is the one I gotta have. But basically, all these VRODs you find, if you want to buy one, the gauges always go bad. Unfortunately, it's just something that they kind of breaks on them. Mirrors to me look pretty good. I like the way they look. Not too crazy, but they get the job done, and to me they're not too invasive. Hydraulic clutch, and then the brakes are pretty okay. For me, I was never used to having the buttons for the turn signals on each one, which is a little weird, but you get used to it. Kill switch, start button, horn, and then the lights. Lights are, when I was looking about getting one, they said the light wasn't very bright, and it does its job okay. I'm gonna get a new one, but it's not, I don't need to get one right away. I'm waiting on this guy in Toyota to go. I want to show y'all what I can do. If you slow down, I mean, you see my 3,000 RPMs. I think I'm in 4th right now. I put it in 3rd, and then 2nd, and now it's at 4,000 RPMs. And when you rip on the throttle, it just comes alive. It is something else. It's amazing. I love the feeling this bike gives me. And it's one of the few cruises I've actually enjoyed. So now we're in 5th. One of the two real things I have on this bike complaint-wise, besides the fuel gauge, is the range. People upgrade the range by putting in a bigger tank. This is a 3.3 gallon tank, and they get a 5.1, which I'm going to do at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Complaints, really, wheels, they look cool, but when you're on the highway, I've had the wind blow me a little bit. Not too big of a deal, but it's just something to think about. The muscles, so the 06 and up, they all have regular spoked wheels now. I ran out of gas. That kind of sucks because I wasn't sipping it. You can go with the odometer. You have your total miles, you have your trip, and then I think this is for your range being low or whatever. So if you time your miles, it's okay. Now that I pay attention to it, I don't think I'm ever going to run out, but it's just something to consider. I'm going to go down a little twisty road over here. This bike, so a lot of people I've talked to don't like the bike. They say a couple of things. It's liquid cooled, which it has a different sound, but I like that sound. I like how it has a lot of horsepower for what a Harley normally has. Because 1130 cc's with, you know, 115, 120 horsepower, that's pretty good numbers right there. And then the torque, it's pretty good up on there too, and you feel it kick in after a while. But they don't like how it's liquid cooled, and they don't like how it doesn't handle very well. And coming from my point of view, most cruisers just don't handle too well. They're not built for that. They're built to go kind of cruise along on a Sunday afternoon, and just kind of take it easy. So this bike doesn't handle well. I think for a Harley Davidson it handles pretty well. Compared to a sport bike, absolutely not. I mean, I've almost like I was gonna bottom out, just by leaning over. But if you see me right now, it can, if you want it to, it'll get after it. No crazy track days, but I mean, it does its job. Fun bike. But where this thing shines is it's getting on that on-ramp and getting on the highway, and just opening up the throttle and just going. It's an amazing feeling. Similar to the Sportster S, but this feels a lot more real, a lot more raw. Whereas the Sportster S is really computerized. I got a good little thing in there. It's fine. if you're looking to buy one of these and you know you're a newer rider, I would not recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of bite. It'll bite you if you don't know what you're doing. Same with the Sports RS. It's got all the computer stuff and all, and I mean you can put it in rain mode, but I would stay away from it until you get to hang it. Maybe it's your second or third bike, when I would probably consider the VROD of the Sports RS. But yeah, I mean it's a fun bike. It's the only Harley Davidson that I've ever ridden, and actually the only cruiser that I've ever ridden. I'm like, man, this was made for me. Yeah, I mean you see me, I'm like in the 4th. No, I was in 3rd. Now I'm in 5th. I'm not 40 miles an hour. I'm at, what, 2,500 RPMs. It's just chugging along. Yeah. It is, it's definitely built for going in a straight line for as long as you need it to. A lot of the Harley riders, or just, I mean, riders in general, one of their complaints with this bike is that it had reliability issues. There's not, from what I've seen, I haven't heard anything. I think the first year had an issue with the oil drain, but that was back in 02. After that, the only issues I've heard of and seen was with this fuel tank. That's about it. I haven't seen any other issues. This is my you know, I'm my first month owning it, but I haven't seen anything, and I don't think I'll see anything for a long time. These bikes are known to hit up 100,000 miles, so if you buy one, it'll last you a long time, as long as you take care of it. There's that, and here's my horn. You can hear that. Yeah, I'm going to open it up a little bit here and see how fast we can go on this. She'll go. The VROD, she will go. I think that was 90, and that was 4th gear, and it had plenty more to go. It's just you got to make sure you have the space for this bike, because the brakes are they're not race bike brakes. They're just big cruiser brakes, and when you're doing big cruiser stuff, not a problem. They work fantastic. But when you want to start getting after it, they're a little you got to be a little bit extra on them. You got to anticipate. You just can't, excuse me, you just can't stop and expect it just to work out for you. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear the exhaust really well, but it's loud, and I always wear earplugs when riding this bike because I don't like getting headaches. I know the regular exhaust is a lot more tame and a lot more friendly on the ears, so you don't have to wear your earplugs. But if you get one and you get one of these full system pipes or slip-ons, just, you know, wear earplugs. The fastest I ever hit on my VROD was 135. I was on the highway, so in Mexico, the highway in Mexico, just so we're clear. But top speed for this bike isn't an issue. Yeah, it runs just fine. Yeah, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I kind of want to give y'all a good 15 or 20 minutes. I don't want to have it too long because I don't want people to lose interest in this video for the you know, I want to see what it is. Hopefully you can see the river over there. It's really pretty. This place is called VROD. It's out in town called Canyon Lake if you ever want to come out here and check it out. Yeah. What else about the VROD? This color is called dark cherry, which is basically a maroon color. You know, it's just their fancy marketing for it. And I love I mean, for a 20-year-old bike, the paint's held it up really well. I need to give it another wash. I'll probably do that this weekend. Yeah. Some cow over there. This thing, it scares deer like nobody's business. You sit there and you ride the motor and it'll just make the deer like hightail it. Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting up on another car at the stoplight so you can see how good this thing really is. And also do some stuff on the highway, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it that far. Let's see. Nice and easy. Handles the corners. Like I said, pretty good for a cruiser. Any mods, I want to do it right now. I'm considering. I have a saddlebag back there, a little sissy bar bag. You can see it. I kind of reviewed it in my other video. Check it out. Any support I get helps me out a whole lot. But I'm buying saddle bars, or not saddlebags, so I can take it down to Louisiana and have more storage. Cause that's my one problem. I love my Ninja, and one of the bad parts about that bike is just having to carry a backpack all the time. It kind of drives me crazy. I sweat a lot, so it gets all nasty. Yeah. But yeah, I want to put a bigger rear tire. It helps with the traction on it, just so you can lean a little more. LED light, LED tail light, stuff like that. I put this quad block on there. It's been working pretty okay. I just don't like the way the actual case works, but I haven't had any issues so far with it. Now you can kind of see, it's a little bit darker, see how the light works with the high beams. Okay, it's good enough. I haven't had any issues so far. One of the reviewers said it was kind of like the worst light ever. No, it's fine. It's fine. A lot of the places I meet people and I ride their bikes, I just literally meet, like, a bunch of my friends ride and I've asked them to ride their bike. I went to a bike meet and I asked a dude to ride his VTX 1300 and he was cool with that. So I'm kind of all for riding whatever bike you can ride. Like my buddy of the 650, he's a great guy, I love him, but he's kind of one-minded in how he has to have a sport bike. Right here, let's see if I can work. That deer said he's gonna run. But he is kind of one-sided in that he has to have a sport bike, which I don't agree with. I think all bikes are cool, and I have the same issue with my other buddy. He's a die-hard cruiser fan, and it's just what he loves, and I get loving the bike, but I'm also for branching out and having different options because they're all fun for different things. This bike's fun for hauling ass in a straight line, and my Ninja's fun for getting after it on a twisty road. Yeah. Get up on it. Yeah, you pull on the throttle, and the VROD says, "All right, we're going," and you just go, and you get that feeling like you're on top of the world, and I love it. I really love it. Any other bikes that I've ridden that's kind of close to this would be the Sportster S. It's just I don't fit on it right, and I don't it's kind of a small bike for me, I feel like. But I saw one for $12,000 out in San Antonio, and it had 5,000 miles. It was a 22. That's a steal for that bike. I mean, if you want to go just based off the numbers and a Sportster S, you like the way it feels, and you see one of these VRODs, unless you're buying it to collect it, which I get, these bikes will be worth money in a few years. If you're buying it to collect it, you're golden. But if you're buying it to fucking, or if you're buying it to just to have a bike and you can't find one, the Sportster S will do really good as long as you're okay with it. You're okay with riding it. But yeah, I saw a Sportster S for 2022 for $12,000, and I mean you want the best bang for your buck. That's pretty much it. If you want a cruiser for your horsepower and your torque, a lot of the other, like the Indians, don't really compare to that. And even some of them super sport bikes, like these cruisers, these VRODs, the VMAX especially, but the VROD, the Ducati Diavolo, and there's another really good cruiser that will keep up. I think the FTR09 and the Sportster S, those will keep up with the 600s and even the 1000s all the way up to 100 miles an hour. And after that, you're fighting air resistance and you're not going to win that battle. But I mean, if you want to go with your buddies and you want to get a cruiser, jump with them, this bike or the Sportster S, that's the way to go about it. Just for like the price per dollar and all that other stuff. The Nightster's okay for a beginner rider. I think it's actually a great beginner rider bike if you want a Harley Davidson. But I would, if you want to get like the best, most value for money, and you ride them for a while, Sportster S will be the way to go. Ride them. People always ask me, what should I do when I want to buy a bike? Ride the bike. Don't just go out there. Don't watch the YouTube video. Don't just say, okay. Watch the videos. They're great. They're amazing. They're fantastic, getting information. But don't just buy one before you ride the other bikes. Because you might ride it and you're like, dang, this isn't what the YouTuber said it would be. Because everybody's different. Everybody's different. And certain bikes are better for certain people than others. Man, it's a gorgeous day out here. If you were to ask if I'm having any buyer's remorse for this bike, absolutely not. I love this thing. I'm only paying $165, $170 a month. I bought it, had like 10.8 or 10.500 miles, 2,500 I think it was. I put about 1,500 on it. I don't know what the hell that was. But I love it. I'm not having any regrets. It is, so to me, it's the best cruiser I've ever ridden. And take that how it is, as someone who's coming from the sport bike world. But I've ridden a lot of bikes, and this is, for me, this is the best. Yeah, so I spent $8,000 for this bike. Out the door, that was everything else. I think it was $85 out the door. Put $700 down. I'm financing it, but it is. I am so happy I did it. My salesman, he was telling me that someone else is still gonna buy it. I'm like, man, if it sells, I'm not buying the one. The other one didn't fit me as well, and also was an extra $6 grand. So I said, let's buy this one. I'm hearing some music, I had no idea what it is. Yeah. If y'all have any questions, feel free to, leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer any questions about this bike, or any other bikes that I've ridden and how would I compare it to, and what I thought of the other bikes I mentioned on, about what I've ridden. Yeah, I'm here to help you guys out, and I want to make sure that we are, as much of us that as we can, get on two wheels, ride around and have fun. Yeah. I just love doing that and having that sound. When I need to go, the thought of it just goes. The one thing I think for me personally that the Sportster S has over the VROD is the 6 speed, 6 gears. Like I said, this thing will go, and when you get up that RPMs, like I said, I hit 135 miles an hour, which is really fast. The Sportster S has got 6 gears, which is nice to have that extra gear, just to get a little bit extra move. That's the one thing I think personally the Sportster S has over this bike. But I mean, like I said, to me this was just so much better. It's got a little, most Harleys have this. It's a little twist lock over here. It's a throttle lock. You twist it open all the way to the left, I believe, and it locks your throttle, so you can do this. It's a little sketch. It doesn't work, you know, the best. I would only use it if I'm on a straight open road. Just 'cause I don't like risking that. Yeah. I would go to the city, but it's getting late and I want to go straight home. So I'll go ahead and give y'all a little this fucking dude, man. I'll give y'all a little taste of how it is on the highway. Not the best highway, but just, you know, one that people go up to 70 pretty regularly on. This thing, as you saw, it'll handle it fucking 100. It'll handle 100 miles an hour, no problem. If you want to go somewhere, take a tour on it, it'll do it. The seat's really comfy. It has a little back passenger seat. This one lady told me, she said it was great, didn't have any issues, and it helped her because this bike pulls you back when you're on the throttle. It helped her if like she wasn't gonna fall off. Yeah, seat's comfy, back seat's pretty comfy. I'll show you all the key in a second, but the key's actually, the tank's under the seat, which is kind of weird, but Porsche designed it that way so it would hold the center of gravity down lower. The newer ones have the key up over here to the side of the frame next to the motor. But the original ones, they had it on the seat. I don't want to pass this guy, but I don't know how mad he would get. A lot of people out here get pretty mad whenever you do something they don't like. Yeah. Hopefully they'll get a pretty good pool of me getting on the highway and trying to merge and see how this thing really goes. Yeah. Beautiful Memorial Day. It was real hot earlier today, and now it's nice. I think it's 88 degrees, 85, so it feels really good. You know, thank you for all the people who served. And you know, I mean, giving their life for this beautiful country. And letting us have the opportunity to ride these beautiful machines and just have a blast. Riding this bike in traffic, if you ever ridden a Harley Davidson, you know they kind of get hot. I haven't had any issues with this bike getting hot. Probably due to the liquid cooling. It's nice and cool. Like right now I'm wearing pants and I feel fine. No issues. Even when I rode earlier today, when it was 100 degrees, just to get out of the house for a bit, I wore shorts. And I felt fine. Liquid cooling is amazing. It just, everything seems so smooth. A lot of these, a lot of big cruisers, they also are kind of rough. They're really vibrating because they have a big, huge motor down below them just pounding away. Like the 1800 VTX I rode, it was once you got up and going, it was kind of rough. This bike's pretty smooth, up to about 5,500 to 6,000 RPMs. It gets a little vibey because the motor's trying to work hard, but at 4 right now, it is dead smooth. I don't have any issues. feel like that'd be a great fishing spot over there at that pond. Catch some pretty bass. Yeah, if any of y'all are VROD owners, let me know in the comments. Tell me your favorite, least favorite thing about the bike. My favorite thing about it is that it fits me so perfectly, and it is, and I love how it's not unlike basically any cruiser I've ever ridden. I love how it's not like any of the other ones. Least favorite thing, man, it's gotta be the tank thing, the size and the odometer, or yeah, that's it, because I like the way it handles. I mean, it handles pretty good for a cruiser. But that's my least favorite thing. That's the tank and the odometer, the way that it messes up, and the size. Let's see if we can pass this guy over here. I don't know if y'all saw that, but the suspension's a little, like I said, it's good for the cruiser, but I mean, compared to what I got on my on the other bikes I've ridden, and then on my other bike, it's not the best. But it's good enough. And that's okay. Get a little good acceleration on here. Yeah. And usually I fill this thing up once I get 100 and I reset it. I'm at 70, so I'm gonna go home and relax. It'll be all good. Go for a ride next weekend. But what I cruise at usually is 70, and it hits 4,000 RPMs, and you're just straight chilling. Even 90, I didn't have any like just going down on 35. I didn't have any issues going down 35 at 90 miles an hour. I also have a full windscreen, which is amazing. If you get one of these bikes, or if you have one and you do not have one, you should get one. It'll change every way you think about it. You're going far, that windscreen is just a lifesaver. I like the way the bike looks though, so when I'm just staying around town, I leave the windscreen off. Yeah. Let's see if we can put a cop behind me now. Let's see if we can catch this guy. Roll on throttle speed. And it'll go. It'll keep on going. It's got no problems hitting 100 miles an hour. Up on it, and I'll probably talk about it comparing to my Ninja 500, and then maybe a review of maybe a Rebel 500, because I know someone who's got one. I can do a review on it pretty easy if they let me. their bikes so I can get a kind of a feel for them. Whereas a lot of these bigger YouTubers, they're kind of the same cookie cutter, and you either got a cruiser guy or a sport bike guy or an ADV guy, and so you just can't ever really. Revzilla is pretty good about it, where they can. Revzilla will kind of do a pretty good review of most bikes. They even don't like cruisers as much as other people do. And the Manu, he's pretty good too, but he's just kind of sport bike only. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can do some of these reviews for you, a bunch of different bikes. I'll try to go do maybe the sports arrest. I can get it and I can ride it. So I know somebody in the dealership can ride it. Make a video on that, make it a pretty quick video. And then we can kind of compare it directly to the VROD. Because I haven't ridden that sports arrest in a while, but I can't tell you exactly you know, what all different, but all the same. Yeah, enjoy the sights of the ride. It's well, I live out in the hill country in the state of Texas. It's beautiful. I love living here, and we got some really pretty roads. As you saw River Road, that's real pretty. Yeah, feel free to give me a like, subscribe. It'll help me out because I really want to grow and I really want to do this more often. And if I can justify getting a bunch of support, I will do it more often. And if I can't, I still do it because I like doing it and I think it's cool. And I like informing others of what, you know, what's out there. Yeah. Man. Every time I see those suburban Tahoes, they scare me so bad because I do not want to get a ticket. It's a little darker, so you might be able to tell a little better. But this is my brights. Not good, it works pretty well. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good job. Yeah. I love that sound of the on my first Ninja, my 02, it had a Manson Hind exhaust on it, and it was loud, and it was carbureted and it sounded amazing. Ninja 400 didn't sound too great. I put an exhaust on it, and it sounded okay. But this sounds, to me, it just sounds fantastic. I love it. And if you ever get one of these bikes, you get a lot of compliments on it from people who don't ride bikes. They like the way it looks. They love the way it sounds. A lot of people I've talked to. It's like a neat looking bike. I mean, for me, this is like, you know, it's American muscle. It's like kind of the anticipation. I know Porsche designed it, but the way it's set up is like the American, it's like the American muscle car for motorcycles. I mean, I don't think there's any other American bike that really kind of fits that bill. Maybe the FXDR or the Dyna, but to me those are they're kind of underperforming for what I expect when it comes to you know, a freaking finisher bike. This bike's kind of built to be like your last bike, and a lot of those other bikes to me they're kind of underwhelming, and that they have me asking for something more. Whereas with my my VROD, I'm not asking for anything more. It's more than enough. This is the end of my little ride journey review of my 05 VROD. Again, any questions in the comment, put them down. I'll be happy to answer them. Please like and subscribe. It helps a whole lot. It helps me grow and become a bigger and better YouTuber, and you know, helps me get my content better. Yeah. have a great day, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. So let me get one more pull point to top it off.